So Trump opened his mouth on the tax thing, and I think this is what I've wanted to see for a while, so that we can have a real election about real issues now. Economics. Because I know we all know Trump has these flat out stupid economic policies. Let's have it's the economy. Let's do it. See, what I'd like is for the Democratic candidate to spin this around on him and claim she's going to increase taxes on the wealthy and also on corporations. Up here in Canada, the Liberals won an election by promising to increase taxes on the wealthy. We didn't get the corporations part out of them. But, yeah. I know better. I wouldn't believe it anyways. I mean, she's saying some stuff about it, but I mean, it's like, the last thing the country needs right now is lower taxes at the top rate. It's like the last thing they need. It needs to be taking it to higher income tax levels to spend on crumbling infrastructure and convert the economy away from fossil fuels. The problem with the stimulus plan was that it was too small. They need more of this on a deeper level, and they need to generate the revenue to do it. A strong candidate would annihilate him on his tax policy, which is clearly disastrous and flat out stupid. It's 2016, and dipshit Donald here still thinks tax cuts create jobs. He's still pushing Reaganomics. I mean, like, okay, nobody really took Reaganomics seriously in the first place, but now we tried it, right? There's one thing for all these economists to be yelling at you and saying, "No, you idiots." At least there was the response. Well, we haven't done the experiment. We have now done the experiment, and they were a bunch of idiots. So does he really think that? Of course he doesn't really think that. I don't think anybody really ever thought that. He just wants to give himself a tax cut. And he's telling you that, by giving himself a tax cut, he'll create jobs for you. Of course he won't. What will be the result of dipshit Donald's tax cuts? Dipshit Donald will get a tax cut. And you'll have the resulting decrease in spending. If I was a nominee, I wouldn't talk about anything else. So I ended up looking up a couple articles about the stimulus. What I was looking for was something explaining that the stimulus was too small. I went to Krugman because I know that he's written about that quite a bit. And while I don't always agree with him, he is kind of the expert here. So if we're going to be talking about Keynesian policies, he's kind of the best explainer out there, kind of thing. So, and we're really lucky that he does as much explaining in what is essentially a public forum as he does. And I found one that explains that he saw the stimulus being too small coming, and then I found another one explaining the political disaster around the stimulus. But I mean, okay, but I mean, like let's do it right this time, kind of thing, right? Like, I don't think that. What do? Do you say, the stimulus package was unpopular, so let's have a giant recession? Like, we have to find a way to win this argument, right? Like, it's the way that things work, right? The government has to spend money. And then, to my surprise, I find an article where Trump says he wants to outspend Clinton on infrastructure. Hey, the one that wants to spend the most is the best, right? It's just like the TPP, though, right? I mean, just the other day he told us that Pence was running things, and you think Pence wants... I don't think Pence wants that, right? So what's... when's he going to walk it back, right? They both say they want infrastructure spending, and they're both technically right. But I don't believe either of them. Rather, I think that they'll both push tax cuts and austerity. I don't know how I'm going to get through this. Right? I'm looking for information to try to convince Clinton to spend more, and I get an article with Trump saying he's going to spend more. It's like, It is. It's a fucking disaster. Right? once again, I'm left in this like distant point where I'm struck by the absurdity of what's in front of me here. I ought to be pointing out that it's good that they're both taking the right approach. They're both saying they want stimulus. But I don't believe either of them. I think they're both lying, and neither one of them will give us stimulus. And you know what? The evidence is on my side here. Meaning, I'm in the fucking ultra-paradoxical phase again. Great. Just to close that off, there's an article by Krugman written today where he argues for the need for deficit spending right now. That's something else that was important in the election in Canada a few months ago, and he's very much right.